Sleep counseling is interesting because I've always wanted to work with sleep. And the reason why I work with sleep is because when I love sleeping, so that's obviously a side advantage. But beyond that, the fact is that in the area of mental health, most other issues are difficult for clients to recognize. Right? When you tell people that when you have too many negative thoughts, if you have too many negative emotions, visit a therapist, it's difficult to quantify and understand because for most people, अच्छा negative thoughts तो होते हैं ना, कभी-कभी negative feelings तो होती है ना. So how do you quantify कितने negative thoughts and कितने negative feelings is actually a problem, right? And that's one of the reasons why when you speak to people and you tell people that it's a good idea for you to visit a mental health practitioner, they don't know how to assess when have they reached beyond the threshold where it's time for them to visit a mental health practitioner. Sleep is one issue which is the first observable indicator, and every individual can observe. So when you tell a client, if you've not been able to sleep for more than 3 days, whether it's because of a thought, because of an emotion, because you're too stressed, or because you're not even sure कि नींद क्यों नहीं आ रही, that's probably a good time to visit a mental health practitioner. That gives people a very, very clear indicator of how do they identify it's time for them to visit someone and seek help. And I think that's an extremely important step. If we want people to be willing to focus on their mental health, you need to give them an observable indicator. Thoughts and emotions सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगता है, पर for most people समझ में नहीं आता है, बहुत abstract है. The challenge with sleep is, in classical therapy, sleep is probably one of the most difficult things to deal with. Because most classical therapies are active. You're actively working with clients. You want clients to be able to manage their thoughts, manage their emotions through active participation. Sleep, on the other hand, is a passive activity. So you can't consciously try to be active so that you can become passive. There's a contradiction over there, right? And that's the reason why with sleep, you need to look for a different approach altogether. Luckily for us, because we focus so much on hypnosis, we focus so much on unconscious, that provides us with an opportunity to look at an alternate way of working with sleep. Also, sleep can be a cause and an effect of a problem. Which means if a client has some other problems and they are not able to sleep, while sleep can be the effect of that, there are also places that because they're not able to sleep, a lot of other problems are piling up. Plus, in therapy, with humans, because most of our mind processing of information and sorting of information happens while you're sleeping. If you're not having a proper sleep, then even your therapies take a lot longer because the natural processing that is being done is not happening for the client. So I work with the client using an intervention today. Now the client's mind needs to process it, assimilate it, incorporate it into its unconscious. If they're not sleeping, how would that assessment and assimilation happen? Right? And that's the reason why sleep, in my understanding, is probably one of the most important in the first intervention to look at when you work with clients. Are we good till here?